Hey there, everybody. Let's take a little minute to talk about wafer locks. So, a wafer lock. Sure. It could be pretty easily picked, right? Get my pick in there. Yeah, I can just easily rake this. There we go, see? Cut it open. But that's not exactly what I want to talk about. Let's take a minute to talk about key-to-like systems. So, key-to-like is something that a lot of wafer locks use. Not necessarily if you have a wafer lock is it a unique key. Alright. All of these keys here are key-to-like. This guy here, BG133. For the lock, it says BG133. This is not the original key for this lock. But let's take a look at this one, A126. That is an extremely common key. Let's see, what else can I find? Okay, Cat 15. That happens to be, if I can, off the top of my head, I think that one is fire alarm equipment. T1, Corbin cabinet lock key. That's not key-to-like. Well, that is key-to-like. Let's see, what else do we have? This one. CK161. I believe this is 1930s through 1950s GM trucks. GH001, probably a cabinet. I don't know. I researched these earlier, and most of these are key-to-like. So we have FR is a common starting. So these are all FR, and they are actually all the same. Yeah, these are all the same keyway. That's what the FR stands for, is the same keyway. Most of the rest of these are going to be a Y11 keyway, and then this one is a CCL keyway, as well as that one, CCL. A126 is that is a Y11 keyway. Now we have some other ones here. We have EB003, and yeah, it goes down the list, right? These are all key-to-like. But the most common key, I don't have one right here. I probably have one somewhere else, and I'll have to find it another day. But most common key in the U.S. is CH751. Now, CH751 is pretty much, it goes to a billion things. It's the most common key in the U.S. wafer lock key. Everything from RVs, all of the sides on all of the side cabinets on RVs. Most stock RVs are going to have the CH751. Server cabinets. The list just goes down the road. Same key. In fact, with the CH751, if you go into Amazon, Tools and Home Improvement, search key, it's like the second or third one that pops up. CH751. There are wafer lock systems that are not key-to-like, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are key-to-like, and most people don't even realize. And so it's good to get that awareness out there. I'll put the link down below, but there's an excellent talk given by Deviant Olaf and Howard Payne. And Deviant Olaf is a guy who runs a pen testing firm, and what they do is their job is to go to everybody from tech companies to government agencies, and they go and they are hired to break in and then tell the agency or the company or whatever how secure it was, and then what they can do to improve. And then Howard Payne is an elevator inspector, and he he's also very into the field of locks, and so that's yeah. And so yeah, I'll put a link to that, and then there's some, you know, they've also given some other great talks, but yeah, the video is called you can find it all over YouTube. It's this key is your key, this key is my key, and yeah, they just go in and they explain the ideas behind key-to-like systems, and most people don't even realize that they have a key-to-like system when they do. So yeah. Yeah, most of these, you know, most of these I don't really have locks for, but there's definitely locks out there that will work with these keys. Yeah. Yeah, so I hope this brings some awareness out there to key-to-like systems, because you may not even realize, but let's, you know, like, if your key says CH751 on the back, you're probably going to want to change the lock, because everybody in the world has that key. Most people probably have that key just laying around at home. So, yeah, there are other key-to-like systems that most people don't even realize. Let's see. Golf carts. That is, most of them use the same key. It's a I can't even remember the code on it. Okay. Now, 1284X. There is the most common police car in the U.S. A Crown Victoria Police Interceptor is the most common police car in the U.S. And most of them, probably 70% of them on the road, are key-to-like to 1284X, which people have figured out. It will open the trunk, doors, and it will start the engine, all of it. And so now those are getting phased out, but there's still a lot of them on the road. And even the ones that are, you know, even the ones that have been, I forget the word for it, but they're no longer with the police department, and then they get auctioned off to be taxis or whatever, you know, those still have that key. And so then you have a key to all of the other locks in the system. Now, there are a lot of times where you know, they're like, you know, it's like, I don't know, $50 to get the 1284X, and then the factory gets an order that they have a high security car, you know, that has drug shipments or whatever, and they want to key it to something different, right? But the mistake that they run into is that key is actually the mistake that they run into is they look at the lock, and then they're like, okay, well, here's the lock that we want, and they call up the lock company, and the lock company says, you know, okay, well, we can get you a different key, but it's going to cost $500 per car, and 4 weeks for us to get those in stock. I do have the 1284X in stock, so maybe you might want that one. You know, it's a, you know, in the video I mentioned that Howard and David do a skit on that same thing that I just explained, so it's pretty funny. They have sound effects and everything. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I recommend going and checking that out.